Before I really talk about this show in detail, I gotta go on a rant about Clayface. I fucking love Clayface, and he is just not used right in this show. This is now the third time he has not been used right in a DC project, and it just makes me so fucking frustrated. Victor Zsasz is also, unfortunately, another character that they keep doing wrong. Don't get me wrong, his performance in Gotham was amazing, but it wasn't Victor Zsasz. It wasn't. He's a fucking hired gun that works for Penguin and even feels remorse when Falcone dies, and that is what leads him to betraying Penguin. He does not believe human life is valuable. He thinks life is worthless. Even I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get what they were going for with him in Birds of Prey. He's kind of sadistic, kind of fucks with people. Pushes Black Mass to do the very uncomfortable scene with him making the dancer, or not the dancer, someone that just went to his club strip. Victor Zsasz is a bit sadistic and somewhat more like Victor Zsasz in that movie, but he still really isn't Victor Zsasz to me. Clayface, uh, honestly, I can't think of many performances where he was good. Uh, Arkham City, he at least was somewhat in character. He reveals the reason he was pretending to be the Joker was because it was the role of a lifetime. Um, Obviously, because Joker's fucking famous. And he's one of the biggest villains, even, by the standards in universe. But he is constantly used in the wrong way in media. Once again, gotta go back to Gotham. Clayface and Gotham pretended to be Jim Gordon, did a terrible job, and then disappeared from the show. The big Clayface is an actor. He is an actor. That's like part of his thing. Like, I'm not saying he's like some A-list actor, but he is a good actor. That's what frustrates him a lot with Batman, is that Batman can see through it because Clayface makes simple mistakes and Batman's a detective. Another example of Clayface not really being used right is Harley Quinn, though it's a comedy, so I guess you can excuse it. I still don't care for it. He's not good. He's supposed to be an actor. He's not good at it. Like, that's kind of his thing, man. How are you going to mess up one of his biggest things? Well, in this show, he's an unfunny fucking loser that pretends to be this professional, does a decent job at it at first, but apparently when he goes to the actual job, he decides to not be a professional. What? He goes there and talks about lesbians and how hot lesbians are and this and that and fucking like litters and shit. Then he goes home, has a rotting corpse there that's been there for like a week. I guess Clayface doesn't know how to get rid of a body. It's just so stupid how they use Clayface in this show. He also gets somewhat easily defeated, and it's never discovered why he's working with the princess. He just kind of is. I don't get it. It's really dumb. I don't like it. Clayface is one of my favorite villains. It's a very interesting concept, but he was not good in this show. I don't know what James Gunn was doing. Speaking of James Gunn, I don't personally like him being in the Suicide Squad intro. I don't get it. You're not a character in the show. Why you there? But it's whatever. It's not. It doesn't take you away from the show completely, but it's just kind of stupid. Why are you an animated character in the Suicide Squad intro? Speaking of the intro, it's fine. It's passable. I don't really care for it. As you know, his Peacemaker intro was pretty good, and then this one's not. Sylvester Stallone's character also returns in the finale, but he's played by a different actor. He's also kind of mean. He makes fun of the girl's haircut, which he tried to eat people, and he does say some somewhat mean stuff in the Suicide Squad movie, but it feels, even though with like one brief line, he was kind of definitely mischaracterized, just in my opinion. The very first episode is about The squad protecting the princess, they're assigned to that mission by Amanda Waller. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know most of the squad. I knew of the skeleton guy. I've seen him in a few comics, and I know the bride and the Frankenstein story, though I'm not like too familiar with it. They're also in the Marvel comics, um, but I believe they're a little bit different in the Marvel comics. I've seen them in a few comic books, but I don't know much about them. I didn't know GI Robot, and I didn't really know the Fish Girl. I knew Weasel, but only because of the Suicide Squad movie. I didn't know Weasel either. So I do like that they're using some more unknown characters, though. Like I said, the bride is she's a bit more known if you're someone that reads the comic books. It's a decent first episode. Cersei gets fucking brutalized by the weasel. It's crazy. The next episode, they give us origins of all these characters, even though most of them die, so it feels a little pointless. Like, sure, character development and whatever, but if most of them are gonna die, it's whatever. The bride is shown to be the love interest of the doctor that created her, which is fucking gross. There's even a brief, not very explicit sex scene, but it's still a sex scene nonetheless. And it's to show that the Frankenstein knows about them being together or whatever. Frankenstein had asked the doctor to make her. The doctor made her, but he had to spend a lot of time with her to teach her vocabulary and stuff. He's basically, like the dad. He's like the dad. It's fucking gross. Why are they having sex? I feel bad for her that she lost her love, but I don't like the love interest thing. It's weird. Like, he taught you how to speak. Literally, he taught you how to speak in the show. He taught you how to use sentences. This man's basically your dad. And you're having sex with him? Gross. The third episode's about GI Robot. It's okay. I saw the plot twist coming about the fucking, you know, guy that took him in being a Nazi. I saw it coming. He's played by the dude that plays Yondu in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He's done other roles that I've seen him in, but that's what I'll always know him for. He ends up saying something to him, and it ends up being GI Robot's last words, which is weird because the dude was a Nazi. Why are you using a Nazi's last words as your character's last words? Spoiler alert, though, they rebuild him in the finale off screen, and we see him again in a bigger, better robot outfit. But yeah, his fucking last words are a Nazi's last words, and even I believe the episode was even called that too. The fourth episode, the squad have returned home. They're trying to figure out what Cersei's plan is because she's never been that evil before. So her, wanting to end the world seems like a bit of a stretch. And we also get Weasel's origin for why he's in prison, which they had told us in the Suicide Squad movie was for killing a bunch of kids. Well, it turns out Weasel had actually not killed a bunch of kids. He went in there he went into a school and played with some kids, but a fire ended up happening. Because a fucking nosy ass dude sees this weird looking creature, and of course he immediately thinks, oh my god, it's gonna kill the kid. So he decides he has to kill them himself. Yeah, sure, he doesn't do it on purpose, but he's the reason the kids die, not Weasel. One of them ends up surviving, though we don't learn that till way later, and it turns out she's the princess. The princess ends up being, revealed as this twist villain. She wants to take over the world and whatnot, and she's been working with Clayface, which, again, they don't explain why Clayface is working with her. I don't get it. It's weird. You gotta have a motive. They gave us a motive why he was working with Joker. Why can't they do it in this show? The fifth episode's about Frankenstein and Flag working together, which, man, I really liked their dynamic. It was very weird. Um, and I like how intimidating Frankenstein can be at times, and then at other times how fucking goofy he is. Like that's a very cool trait about him. But honestly, I his character is definitely one note in the show. It's literally just him wanting to get the bride. I don't fucking care. Focus on something else. Personally, it's just really boring to me. And I was fucking happy when she killed his ass, but he ends up surviving. So, because he's Frankenstein. So he's not permanently dead. But she does kill him. Um, it's it's whatever. I don't care. But back to the episode itself. Pretty decent episode. We get more on Frankenstein's backstory. He fucking kills the person that took him in and nurses him back to health. What a prick. The sixth episode decides to give us some more backstory on Dr. Phosphorus, played by one of my favorite actors, Alan Tudyk. He is so underrated. He does a lot of voice work. And he's in one of my favorite shows of all time, Resident Alien. It's just fucking hilarious. I love that show. If you haven't seen it, you should try watching it. It might not be for you, but it is streaming on Peacock and currently has 3 seasons. Um, Season 3 ended on a cliffhanger, so you might want to wait if you're someone that doesn't, like cliffhangers. Wait till season 4 comes out. But back to the show. Um, it's a pretty good episode, pretty sad episode, very brutal episode. He gets some good revenge. He gets captured by the Batman, and that's why he's in jail. The only villain to get captured by the Batman. Um, Weasel got put in jail because of him killing kids. G.I. Robot got put in jail because he killed Nazis, which is just fucking wild. Sure, it wasn't World War II anymore, but he fucking killed Nazis and gets arrested. Poor guy. Uh, and he's just a robot. How long are they supposed to keep him? Like, he's not. He's not a real person. I know that may sound a bit insensitive, but it's not like he's, cyborg or robot man. He's not someone that used to be a person that had, like robot man, or like cyborg has robotic parts. He is legitimately just a robot. How long are they supposed to fucking hold him in jail? Like, what? When's his sentence over? I would like for them to elaborate on that more. I know that may seem silly, but it's whatever. We get Nina's backstory in the finale, and she dies in the finale. She was a fine character. Her relationship with the bride was, it was okay. I liked it. Which obviously leads to a pretty cool badass scene in the finale. But they don't explain why she's in jail. She never killed anybody. She thinks she's a burden on her dad. So she decides to go into hiding. Like, she's living in the sewer now and stuff. Like, just she's not living with her dad anymore. I mean, her dad took her to college, and she was gonna go to a public college, and the reason she ended up leaving it was because of the severe bullying she took there, which is unfortunate. That's what happens to even people in real life. So imagine how fucking bad it would be to be a human that was born like a fish and needed a suit to survive. It's gotta fucking suck, and I do really appreciate what they did with her and her dad. She is one of the characters I really did feel bad about when she died. And G.I. Robot just ends up coming back, which is just stupid. Uh, so yeah, she gets killed, but they don't say why she's in prison. She gets like thrown in the back of the truck after people like see her in public or whatever because they're like scared of her. But she's done nothing wrong. She never killed anybody. She never killed anybody by accident or anything. She just never killed anybody. I don't know if this is them wanting to show that they're anti-cop, but the cops literally just shoot her dad for no reason. He like tries to go see the monster, like whatever they're calling her a monster, I mean, Nina. He tries to go see her and they shoot him for it. Like, what? What did he do wrong? So she has to watch her dad die in front of her, and now she's in prison for doing absolutely nothing wrong. She didn't kill somebody in a fit of rage when her dad died, which would have made sense. They should have did that, but no, she's literally in jail for no reason. Just for being what she is, I guess. Because they don't give us an explanation why she's in jail. It's weird. The bride ends up getting pissed because the princess had killed Nina, and she was like, I'm not doing this because to save the world, I'm doing this for my friend, and fucking kills her. It's fucking awesome. I loved it. Let's go back to Dr. Phosphorus. There is a little bit of a criticism I have with him, not as a character, but something they do. They show a scene of him holding a little kid and like tossing her up in the air. But they have mentioned that he cannot control his powers. And he if he were to like hug somebody, he would like melt through them. And even in the finale they talk about how he's like jealous that Weasel's getting all this attention and he's not, and he wishes the fucking guards were petting him. But they would like melt if they did. So if they're gonna melt because of human contact, specifically from petting him, then how the hell is he touching this girl with his bare hands? The show ends with Amanda Waller roping the bride into another team up with a few extra characters like King Shark, who isn't voiced by Sylvester Stallone in the brief line. Overall, it was a decent show. I don't get why people liked it as much as they did. I remember this show being really hyped and really loved. I thought it was decent, but I don't get why people loved it so much. It wasn't bad, though.